Alright guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry about the clutter that's left out. I've been doing homework and I finally decided, you know what, I just gotta pump a video out. I'm also sorry that I haven't been able to post in a while. Life's kind of gotten in the way and technology's kind of gotten in the way, so I'm still, trying to get used to the whole doing YouTube. So that's not really the main point of today's video. Today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the difference between zero waste and low impact, but how both of those can positively affect the environment. So there's been a lot of talk lately about switching from zero waste to low impact. And I know that the sides, they're not really disagreeing, but they do have very different values. So I kind of wanted to do more like a beginner crash course on should I be zero waste, should I be low impact, and what I personally am. If you haven't noticed on Instagram, I am low impact. So to kind of explain what that means is low impact is when you try to do whatever you can to make the lowest impact on the environment, which is different than zero waste, because in zero waste your whole goal is to make zero waste, like nothing. You will send nothing to the landfill, nothing to the recycling center, only compost. For me, I started out zero waste. I started out on goingzerowaste.com by Kathryn Kellogg. I found her blogs, and then when she started doing YouTube, I watched some of her YouTube videos. I looked through some of her challenges. I didn't really do them, but mainly because they had already come out, and it wasn't, the months were wrong for whatever month I was in, excuses really. But so she's who I started with. And I was all into, I'm going to go zero waste. I'm going to do everything I can to make zero waste. And I quickly realized that this was not possible. I can understand how, single people living in big cities are able to do it. But I live in rural upstate New York. There is no way I can, even attempt to achieve complete zero waste. I'm also a college student. I live in a family where, they're for saving the environment, but they're not really into the whole, cutting down on waste to that extreme. So I don't really have the ability to go completely zero waste. So that's when I found low impact, and if you notice on Instagram, I follow low impact movement, and I follow a couple other people who are part of that movement. And that's just where, I know plastic packaging is bad, but I'm going to try to, lower how much I'm actually using. So, I see that this is in plastic. I don't need this like a candy bar. Yeah, I want the candy bar, but it's wrapped in all this plastic, and you know what? It's really just not worth it. I can eat an apple, or, get those bulk candy bark pieces or something like that, just looking for different alternatives without sacrificing anything. Whereas zero waste would say, there's a sticker on it, I'm not gonna eat it. I actually moved the sticker. If I notice that the perfect apple that I want has a sticker on it, I will move it to a non-perfect apple. Somebody else can deal with the sticker. I know that doesn't solve the problem, but then I know I'm not bringing the sticker home. And I really hate those produce stickers. I collect them on bananas and stuff, and I'm just like, this sucks. Anyways, not talking about produce stickers. We are going to talk about what is best for you. I can't answer that. I know, I led you up a little bit, but what is best for you? I don't know. For me, like I said, low impact, because it is more convenient. I am being conscious, but not to the point where I'm sacrificing anything. Some good resources to look into. I mentioned goingzerowaste.com. They're pretty good. Low impact, I'm sure they have a website. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. I will leave it in the description down below. But they are on Instagram, and they post tons of cool things about, what they're doing, what monthly challenges they're doing. I think right now they're doing a plastic thing. I know they're doing something specifically about plastic in home. But now that I've talked about the differences and, what can be best for you, pretty much just do what you can. Just do whatever you can. Every little thing it's better than nothing. So if for you, you know, you can't get around those plastic sandwich bags, but you, instead of buying a plastic water bottle every day, you can reuse a reusable. Hey, you know what? That's better than nothing. You did something. Um, you know, I have a few swaps that I'm going to talk about, but, you know, for you, that might not be practical. For you, you know, you're like, that's not good. I'm going to do something else. Do what you can. That's all that matters. So on the note of doing whatever you can, the first thing that I did to help lower my waste was I use a reusable water bottle and reusable straws. I went with stainless steel straws. You can't taste the metal. I promise you can't. Unless you use pineapple in smoothies. That was the only time I ever tasted the metal because the acid in the pineapple kind of eat it away a little bit. But I find these really handy. I do have a metal stainless steel water bottle. It's downstairs. I don't want to go get it. But they do clang. And a lot of these types of straws I got were way too tall. I can't put like a cap on. But you can get shorter ones. Like I have ones that are short. I didn't grab it. I grabbed the taller one because it was easier. But I find these helpful. My sister uses these now for her smoothies. So she doesn't use plastic straws. I don't use plastic straws anymore. We no longer buy plastic water bottles or flavored drinks. We actually flavor our own drinks with like lemons or limes. I still want to try strawberries and other berries. But this is great. I don't buy water bottles. I can refill them at work, at school, at home. There are places, pretty much when you're not looking for them, you don't see them, but when you look for them, you can find them. Like, I didn't realize that my college had so many places to refill a water bottle and that they were all able to be bottle refilled. Not like the drinking fountains that give like this much height and you can't really fill your water bottle. Like, they were water bottle purposed. So definitely look around town, look around your campus, look around, you know, anywhere you can. See where you can find drinking fountains or restaurants can refill them for you, you know, things like that. But this was one of the first things I did to help reduce my waste. I found this really handy. Like I said, I do have a stainless steel one. Technically, stainless steel is better for the environment. But if you already have plastic water bottles lying around, like I had this one way before I was conscious about the environment, I still use this. This is my upstairs homework water bottle. My metal one is for carrying around places I go because I know if I drop this, it can crack, whereas the metal one kind of just dings. I have lots of dents on the bottom and the top from dropping it so many times. But you can use whatever you want. You know, pretty much do whatever you can. Plastic ones are a lot cheaper, but keep in mind, when they are exposed to heat, they can leach chemicals. Make sure you get a BPA-free one, and, you know, if you can, PVC-free, because both BPA and PVC can leach chemicals into your water. Chemicals not good for your health, I promise. So, you know, attempt to get a BPA one, a PVC-free one, but, you know, like I said, do what you can. If the only water bottle available that you can get has PVC in it, you know, it's not the end of the world, don't get it hot. Pretty much when the chemicals get heated, that's when you run into the most problems. So another thing I did was reusable containers for everything. Before we went vegan, my whole family went vegan recently, you'll see that on my Instagram. We would buy lunch meat, and we use these containers for lunch meat, and then we'd put meals in here and take them to work. I mean, eventually we'd have more than we wanted, so we'd recycle them. But before I got like better quality ones, I would just use these. Use what you have around the house. Just don't microwave plastic containers. Don't do it. Super bad for your health. BPA, PVC, bunch of other chemicals. Don't microwave plastic. But instead of going out and buying those really expensive glass dishes or metal dishes, you can start out with these. I'm sure you can find some cheaper versions on Amazon, thrift store. You know, Ziploc I know has cheap plastic ones. But this is another great way for if you bring your lunch anywhere, like any lunch pail you want. I got it like a really big lunch pail because I eat a lot. But if you have a cute little purse, you can put one of these in, or even just wrap things in like a towel. I wrap my apples in a towel. I don't put them in a dish. My dad wraps plums in a towel, and he takes those to work as snack food. Or even if you put multiple vegetables in a single dish. These can come in super handy for storing leftovers, for bringing things to work. This is something that really helped my family, and you can try this out yourself too. A sock, you say? How in the world does this help with lowering waste? A sock. Well, this sock is a naughty sock. It's got a hole on the bottom. Sorry, the light kind of washes it out. Can you see it? There's a hole in the bottom of the heel, so I can't wear it anymore because, you really shouldn't wear holey socks. Where is this gonna go? Well, I mean, I can put it in the landfill, but that seems like a waste. There's a recycling center I can mail it to, but, that costs money. So why don't I use it for something else? I use this for a cleaning rag. When I dust or have to wipe down any surfaces, wipe down walls, I use old socks. Eventually they become really grungy and they start turning black, and that's when I finally throw it in the landfill because, I wash them when I'm done, but eventually they get stained and they get gross. I have a couple I threw away. I have one getting closer. I just grabbed the pretty one for you guys so you didn't have to see it, but yeah, great way to reuse old socks. Pillowcases. Reusing old pillowcases. You can use those for rags. You can sew a pillowcase blanket when you cut it, so it's not a case anymore, more like a big blanket. Do some cool sewing with that. You can use them for produce bags, for shopping bags. Repurposing is a great way to lower your waste. Zero waste will be super into making sure no matter. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have in terms of easy swaps right now. Now let's talk about resources. I mentioned earlier a little bit of resources. I mentioned going zero waste and low impact. Bea Johnson's Zero Waste Home book, blog, and other stuff. She's on Instagram. I think she does a podcast. She's pretty cool. She is zero waste, not low impact, but that's okay because a lot of her things they're really smart. Stuff I wouldn't have even thought of that she's already implementing at home. She has a husband and 2 kids, so she pretty much teaches you how to combine family life. She has a full-time job. She travels a lot with zero waste. She's really inspirational. I read her ebook, and I thought that was really nice. She's got recipes in there. Totally check out her. I also read Anne Leopold's The Story of Stuff. That is a really good book, making you think really hard about the story of this bag. So she starts out with, she talks you through its entire life. So she starts out with extraction. The materials to make this. I honestly don't remember what this was made out of. But mesh. I just thought of mesh. Mesh is not a material. But whatever it was made of, probably some oil because there is plastic in the knob. We'll go with oil, about how oil is extracted and how it affects the environment and the community. And then it'll go into production, how this was produced, how does that affect the environment and the communities. And then it goes into distribution, how this is sent around the world. This was on Amazon, probably came by plane and by truck. Could have also come by boat first, who knows. So she talks a lot about that, how that affects the environment and the community. And then she also does consumption, about how we use this. And then, oh shoot, what's it called? When we throw it away. Whatever that's called, when we throw it away, when we're done with it. Disposal. There we go. She talks about disposal, so where it goes, landfill-wise, recycle-wise, stuff like that. She really makes you think, and I like how she connects it to the community. Because I don't think of the people that went into making this when I buy it. I just think, oh, it's a plastic bag, I'll reduce my personal waste. It's not a plastic, sorry, it's mesh. Probably plastic. It's whatever. Anyways, she really talks about, who's impacted by my choice to do this. Not even like in the first world country, but even in third world country sense. Who was hurt and who benefited. So she's really good. That was a really good book. She has like a video short on The Story of Stuff, which basically summarizes it all. She has kids. I don't know if she follows low impact or zero waste, but I know she definitely does think about chemicals when she buys things. She's super into anti-PVC. Like, if you are also looking into being super anti-PVC, I would really recommend reading her book and going into or at least doing research on what she does, because she's very anti-PVC. I'm reading Garbology. That's a good book. It's about garbage. Although I haven't finished Garbology, so I don't know how great of a book it is. Although I've heard like really great reviews about it. There's also Low Impact Man. I've heard about him. He's pretty cool. Madeline Olivia, she's on YouTube. She does vegan minimalism, zero minimalism, low impact, something like that. I don't know, I watch her. She's in my subscriptions, so I've subscribed to her if you want to check her out. I think you can see who I subscribe to. I will have to ask my technician slash producer slash manager slash camera woman slash costume designer. She picks out my clothes because she says I don't wear cool enough clothes. So she actually didn't pick out this black long sleeve shirt. I just knew she wouldn't like what I was wearing beforehand, so I threw this on and was like, okay, cool. She can't complain about this, it's plain. But yeah, so that's all I really got for you. Oh, thrift stores are cool. As you can tell, I'm really into casual videos. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to be more formal or more casual. I'm gonna see how much of this casualness I can keep, since she is my technician, editor, manager. She edits my videos. But yeah. Let me know if you think I left anything out. Let me know if you thought this was pretty cool. I really would like to hear your advice in the comments below. That's all I got. I'm gonna say farewell. Thumbs up, comment down below anything you want. I'd love to hear it. Subscribe. Gotta remember everything I gotta say. Thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Preferably Instagram because I really don't do Twitter that much. And I will see you next time.